Let me tell you exactly what this is, so you don't waste your time, because I don't want you wasting your time. This is not a how to be confident in court series. Seriously, it's not. I'm not here to tell you to speak up, be yourself, or any of that feel-good rubbish people throw at you. No, because that's not your problem. I'll tell you now, that's not your problem. Your problem is this. You know your case, but when it matters, you don't say it properly. You hold back, you soften it, you get thrown off, you get interrupted, and you don't recover. And then you walk out of court thinking, that's not what I meant to say. I see it all the time. People spend hours explaining their case to me. It was clear, sharp, switched on. Then they get in front of a judge and it falls apart. Literally falls apart. Not because they don't know it, because they don't know how to operate. When I say in that environment. And no one teaches you this. No one. Solicitors won't explain it. Judges won't explain it. You're just expected to figure it out while you're under pressure. Because that's on top of everything else that you've got to deal with as a litigant in person. No pressure there at all. So this series is different. What I'm going to do over the next few videos is show you what's actually happening in that room, in the hope that it supports you get over whatever mental block you need to get over. This is not legal stuff. This is not psychology or psychologically. This is how you come across, why you get cut off, why you don't say what you mean, why people stop why people stop taking you seriously, even when you're right. More importantly, I'm going to tell you what to do about it, properly about it, not scripts, not lines to memorize. No. How to think, how to speak, how to hold your position. And when I say hold your position, hold it when it matters, really matters. It's not about being confident. It's about being someone who doesn't collapse. You might say you don't collapse. Okay, someone who doesn't collapse under pressure. So if that's you, if you've walked out of court thinking, I didn't say what I needed to say, then this is for you. And the first thing you need to understand is this. You don't freeze in court. You've already lost control. You've already lost control before you've even started speaking. So let's start with something that's so obvious, no one does it. Preparation. And I don't mean your paperwork. Everyone thinks preparation is, I've read my statement. I know my case. I've got my documents. Brilliant. That's like a footballer saying, I brought my football boots. That doesn't mean you're ready to play. Here's the reality. Court is not a knowledge test. It's a performance under pressure. And most of you are turning up to perform completely cold. No warm-up, no rehearsal, no idea how you're actually going to sound when you speak. You just walk in thinking, hopefully I'll say it right when the time comes. That's not preparation, is it? That's not preparation at all. That's gambling. If you like gambling, crack on. Let me put it another way. If I took you right now, dragged you onto a football pitch and said, go on then, go play, warm up. No touch of, you'd be useless for the first, 10, 15 minutes? Slow, off timing, second guessing everything. And that's exactly what you're doing in court. And here's the problem. In court, you don't get 10, 15 minutes to grow into the game. Your first answer matters. Your first sentence matters. And that's where people decide what you're like. So if you start cold, you stay on the back foot. Now here's the bit no one teaches you. You need a warm-up. You need a warm-up routine before you go into court. Not mentally, physically, verbally, properly. You need to hear yourself speak. And when I say speak out loud. Because in your head, you sound brilliant, clear, sharp, makes perfect sense. Then you open your mouth and it comes out like, yeah, I just think maybe, I don't know. That's because you've never actually said it out loud. So step one, you take your key point and you say it out loud, not in your head. My position is blah, 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 blah. And then say it again. My position is blah, 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 blah. Again. Until it stops feeling awkward. And when I say talk to yourself in the mirror, fucking talk to yourself in the mirror. Because the first time you say something important should not be in front of a judge, amateur. Now, step two, you don't just practice when it's going well. You practice when it goes wrong. Interrupt yourself. Lose your flow on purpose. Stop halfway through. Then, as I was saying, carry on. Blah, 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 blah. Because that's exactly what's going to happen in court. Now, what I do with people is I do questions with them, and I make sure when they don't even know when I'm playing devil's advocate. I will just disagree with them. I'll disagree with them, and I'll make sure and I'll knock them for six when I disagree with them, because they won't expect me to disagree with them. And then I'll see how they respond. Then when they respond emotionally, tell them they can't do that. You can do similar. You can get your friends or family member to do it. Yeah. If it's the first time you deal with that is live, you're finished. You'll panic. You'll rush. You'll abandon your point, not because you're weak, because it's unfamiliar. Third step. And this is the one people really avoid. You practice being disagreed with, is what I was saying. Practice being disagreed with, because that's what you're actually scared of. Not speaking, being challenged after you speak. So say your point. Then answer this. What am I going to say when someone pushes back on this? What's the counter argument? And again, say it out loud. I understand that, but my position is blah, 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 blah. Again, say it out loud. Again and again and again until you know it, until you're confident saying it, until it rolls off your mouth, until it rolls off your tongue, until it doesn't shake you. Because right now, you're not prepared for resistance. So when it comes, you fold, you soften, you backtrack, you start explaining. Not because you don't believe your point, because you've never, ever held it under pressure before. Now here's the truth most people won't like. You don't rise in court. You fall to the level of your preparation. If you've never said it out loud, you won't say it clean. If you've never been interrupted, you won't recover. If you've never been challenged, you won't hold your ground. It's that simple. So stop treating court like it's something you turn up to, and start treating it like something you train for. Because the people who look calm in that room, they're not winning it. They're not winging it at all. They've already been there in their head. They've already said it thousands of times. They've already handled the pushback, already heard themselves under pressure. So when it happens, it's not new. And that's why they don't freeze. And that's why you do, because everything you're experiencing is happening for the first time in the worst possible moment. So next time, before you walk into court, don't just read your case. Warm up, say it, challenge it, cover it. Because if you walk in cold, don't be surprised when you freeze.